Right, welcome back guys to the final episode, episode 5 of the Master Plus tutorial. If you've watched the previous 4 episodes, great, thank you guys. If you can drop those likes and comments, it really is appreciated. Guys, I'm not the best at this game. Just thought I would share my views and what I think about when I play Master Plus, particularly with the guys I play with in Discord, you know, because there is guys in the Discord that, you know, they take it very seriously, they enjoy it, but, you know, there's probably a few things that they need to learn, and obviously there's a few things they can teach me. So on this episode, guys, we just want to talk about safety play and how to be attacking, but at the same time be sensible. Because let's be honest, if you leave an opportunity, you're going to lose. And I understand that the fear in a lot of players' eyes is that, oh, I don't want to leave that because if they get that, oh, that's game over. That's it. It's done. And you know, on a lot of occasions it is, but it's not a reason or an excuse to not be a little bit more sensible when playing your safety shots. So what I've done, guys, is I've used my normal break, and this is what people see if I get my break right, which is pretty much you're snookered. Now, it doesn't leave me any options if you miss, because the reds are tied up. But there's a couple of options to play this, guys. You can play it off this side cushion, off one cushion escape, and then hit the side of the reds just above or to the right of the pink as we look at it. That's not for me, because the way the reds are broke, I would seriously consider 2 cushions, and it would be 2 cushions to come into the bottom of the pack there. Alright, now percentage wise, this is with top on it, I would suggest around 25, but sometimes you get it where it's plain ball because you're a little bit further down the table, or at the table I should say, and that may drop short. So if you're playing ball, I would say 26, 27, but because it's got a little bit of top on it, we're going to go around 25.6 with a look to come into the bottom of the pack. So we're going to play that shot. Now that's fine, and it gets you out of the snooker. Fortunately, it hasn't left a touching ball, which then makes the next safety shot difficult, or more difficult, for the opponent. Now, some people will just tap 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 tap. That's great. If you want to spend an hour tapping it, then do that. That's fine. They never introduced a re-rack into this game, but perhaps they should have. Now, what you'll see really good players do is, because they understand the way the pack works and they understand the way that the reds split, they'll play this at 7%. You might think, oh my god, the reds are going to go everywhere. Yes, they might, but a lot of them do this, and I'll redo the shot, guys, if it's incorrect. But what they'll do is they'll play at a higher percentage to develop more reds but not leave anything on. Now, they've made it even worse for their opponent now, because you're thinking, oh my god, apart from tip tap tip tap tip tap, where am I going to go? Where am I actually physically going to go with that? And it makes it very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. Some people will be really, really negative, and they will just tap and tap and tap, and it will get to the point where it just breaks you and you think, oh really, come on, let's just, you know. What I tend to do is if I had something like this, I would want to try and be more attacking, as in, yes, there's a risk of leaving one, but what I'll try and do is first is gauge the power of where the white ball will meet the side cushion, so I know that if I miss the reds, that's where the white's going to finish, and I know that it's going to leave red into the middle. Ideally, what I want to be doing is bringing the white back down near to where the black is. So that will fall short of the cushion because it's now hitting the red. I would be sort of looking at the sort of 10% area to sort of come across towards the black again. Now, this is again a muscle memory game. It is understanding how far the white's going to travel off the cushion and to leave it safe. Now I haven't completely left this safe, guys, because as you can see that red goes. But what I have done is left it in a position where, fair enough, mate, crack on, you take that red on. If you miss that red, the chances are they will leave one, because they'll be looking to get on a colour. Now the only obvious colour here at any sort of reasonable pace is the black. So they'd have to draw it back. Ideally, if I was on the top cushion, it would be a great safety shot, because they wouldn't be able to risk running through all the reds to try and play that at pace. So if you're drawing a good player, the good player will take that on. They will take that on with bottom at about 32%, and they will draw it back, and they will have a black, and the 147 will be on. But it's a tempter, and it moves it on, it moves it along. You know, that's a high risk shot for someone to take, guys. It's not an easy shot to play. So there's other ways we could have played it. Some people will play it with side, with a look to come off the top cushion and on the side cushion, hopefully miss that single red and go all the way up behind the bolt colours. And you'd probably need it off 2 cushions, 3 cushions to get to bolt. You'd probably need about 37% with the side. So we're going to try that. Now the risk of playing it with side is if you miss your power, it could go anywhere. There you go. Because we didn't fully understand where it was going to finish, we run the risk of going into the reds like that. Now we've been fortunate. We've actually got away with that. There's not actually a red available. Yeah, so give that some thought, guys. I'm just going to quickly restart it and try and get us back into a position where we can look at other scenarios and safety shots. Look at that, it's like a mirror image, isn't it? Again, snookered. The other option, again, like I said, is this. I'm not great at this, and I play this probably about 19% to start with. It's got top on it, so it travel far enough, which should travel far enough. If anything, it's a bit pacey. That's why I don't like that shot. If I was playing a competition, if I was playing something that was really important, I would probably have played it on the same line, and I would have probably played it at 17%. Now you might think, oh, that's not going to reach. But no, I know. But the idea is that if you look at the surroundings, so past the table, if you can see that red, that white sort of strip that runs up between the door and that picture, I know that I'm aiming just a smidge to the right of that. So when I play this shot, if it fell short, which it doesn't on this occasion, so that was spot on for line, I know at that pace I haven't disturbed the reds enough to leave myself anything. Yeah, so, and that's the sort of thing I look at. And when people do that to me, my first thought isn't, right, I'm going to get you in here now, this is good, I'm just going to settle it into these reds and that's it, job done. No, I'll be looking to try and get you beyond the bolt colour, and that is the first thing I'm going to go for. The chances are I'm going to come off 2 cushions and go left side of the yellow. I might get away with the right side of the yellow if I play it with a little bit of side, but it's hard to gauge the pace. But that's what I'm going to be. I'm looking at an attacking safety to try and put you in a snooker. You could try the 2 cushion escape, but I do feel that the middle bag is almost stopping you. I'll just try and show you guys if I can. Again, 25, 26%. 2 cushions. Yeah, I think the middle bag. Yeah, the middle bag. So the middle bag's the line for that shot. So that's not on. That isn't on, which is why my break can be effective. Let's try and give you the same scenario for Rainy Lamb's break. Sorry, Rainy, I'm giving away all your tactics for your breaks. He generally goes with 56% on a similar line to that. Now what Rainy will do is, and I might move this white slightly because his break is effectively a snooker, so he might sort of end up in that position. No, hang on. In that position. And like I said, my preferred shot is this, is to cushion escape, which is fine, it's no problem, but I will try and do it for you if I can. I think I've underhit that by missing, or by going into the wrong part. I've got away with that, but what normally happens is, and I'll try and do it if I can, people will miss their power, or they're hit it too hard, and the result of it is that it ends up in a position where the red goes. Now, I haven't broke the same way as Rainey because he's better at it than I am. Obviously, that's his proposed break, but normally this red is available, and I've left it for him numerous occasions. And if you know, if you're a psycho, you'd probably go for that. But yeah, his break is a little bit more attacking. It's a little bit more in a position where you know you're going to leave something if you're too wide, or try and get it a little bit wider here and see if but again, people also do this, you know, they'll play this shot thinking that's going to hit the reds, and it might well do, but it can also go into the gap. See, that's what I said earlier on in the episode, guys. You can do that shot and you can take that single red out of play. It does leave that stupid shot, but it also leaves a long shot, and sometimes you can end up a little bit more straight on it and you can end up there. Yeah. The other thing, just quickly, guys, I don't want this video to go on too long, but so you're in this position and the red's not potable. That red's not potable. This for me is just not worth even attempting. It's not even worth trying. Don't get me wrong, there's a roll up and there's a touch up when it's absolutely required, but it just ends up in a stalemate. Or if you're not playing somebody like myself, or you know, or like, you know, the top guys who play on an online tournament, they're just going to look to put you behind a bolt cutter in this position. You're giving your opposition too many chances to put you in a really bad place. So don't worry about that single red in this position. I know it's available, but I would certainly be looking at going up and down the table. Now, the reason for that is that, one, you'd have to be really unlucky to leave it on, and two, if you did leave it on, you would leave it on in a way that would be one hell of a shot. Alright, so we're going to just top up the power a little bit. Now that's going to glance off the green, which is what I thought it would do, and hand it back towards the brown. Now we're going to see now if this red's on. It is on, and there is a select few that would take that on. But what are they taking it on for? What are they going to get from it? What are they going to achieve from it apart from pot the red? They might be fortunate and land on the black. They might be fortunate and land on the blue. But the packs together, for me, that's a more attacking safety shot. And if anything, you can play it at less pace. You know, you can play it at a little bit more pace. Some people, what they do is they play it with left hand side, and they'll play it at 40%, almost like they're making a break-off shot. Yeah, and they'll try and get a wider angle to then try and cover it by the green. Now, if they get that power right, fantastic, because I'll tell you what, that's not easy to do. That's really difficult. The problem is, by widening the angle, if you don't get behind the green, you've given them a better chance of potting that red and a better chance of getting on a colour. Just move this white around a little bit more. So if you're coming from this side, now there's a shot to nothing. There's a glance off this red, which would send the white back up towards the yellow at that angle, Or the obvious choice, which takes that single red out of play, for me, is 2 cushions, up behind the brown or yellow. If you're playing at plain ball or just above, I would recommend about 42%. It doesn't bring any more reds into play. It does take the white up near the yellow, but what it also does is it gives you an opportunity to lay a snooker. If you're not going to get a snooker from this, guys, you're absolutely 100% in the position to leave it relatively safe. Now, you have a 2 cushion escape option, although that might be a little bit tight. You have the single option, but then you're leaving the red on the right. You have possibly a double from here, but by going into the back, you leave 2 reds if you go between them both to each of the corner pockets. You're in a strong position here. You're in a very, very strong position. So here, I would certainly consider playing dead weight to land on the top cushion, so to glance. Now, this is high risk because you could push a red at the same velocity towards the top cushion, so you can end up just leaving it on. Just to give you an idea what that looks like, guys. You see that red just pop out? Now, that's not a bad shot. That's not a bad shot. And if anything, that's quite attacking. It's attacking in a way where you're thinking, damn, you know, if you had to play this shot, what's your option? Because you haven't got the blue line, you're not exactly sure where the white's going to roll to. Now, on this occasion, I would absolutely consider the roll-up, purely because it's too much of a thick angle, which will push reds out at the side of the pack, and you couldn't guarantee the white behind the bolt colours. So I would consider rolling that up, but not in a way where it just touches, because you run the risk of falling short, and if you fall short, you're giving points away. Don't want to be giving points away. Now you have given your opposition an opportunity now to play it with a little bit of side, get up behind that bolt cushion, but it initially gets you out of the trouble. So from here, at this angle, I would suggest that it's going to miss and end up going up towards behind the green. So that single red is still an option. So I would personally play this with a bit of side, at about 32%, and just touching it. I think I missed it then. That's the issue you have when you're trying to play a shot, which oh no, I did hit it. Okay. If I'd have missed that ball then, I'd have left a free ball. And then there would have been a brown, and then a blue, and then, well, God knows how many. So they've played it, and you're left with this. And it's safe. Again, you have the same issue. They've got you against the ropes a little bit in the fact that what you're going to do, where you're going to go to. And I could go on and on, guys, about this. There's so many different scenarios, so many different options you can end up with. I would be looking to perhaps 2 cushions and then hit the side of the pack right at the pink as you look, but almost dead weight. So I would be looking at, again, 26. There you go. I've left it. Unless that's touching. There you go. You've left the red. So the shot previous, they were in a strong position because they're not leaving you many options to leave it safe. Let's be fair, that's got 50 or 60 all over it. Slight roll through. Take a couple of single reds. If anything, the only protection you have is that red. It sounds daft, but when you're playing the black, the gap between that red and this pack is so great that the chances are the split's not going to be very good. So you still need to think about it. Some people would just drive that in with loads of bottom and just spin all out through the reds and hope to land on a blue or a bolt colour. But guys, I hope that helps. I hope that helps you with sort of your safety play, and gives you an idea of what to do when you're in a position where you're trying to you know, to lay a safe shot, but equally to give yourself you know, an opportunity to do something. See the two lines here that runs off this red. That means that at that angle, the white's going to go off at a wider angle to the right, so more towards the green. The more you move that to the left and it straightens, that there is almost in a straight line. So effectively, in my mind, at about 19, which is including the top, is going to get you, I'd like to think, right side of the brown. And I would be looking to try and get you behind the brown here. Too wide, because I hit it too hard. If anything, it's gone behind the green. Still a good shot, but pay particular attention to that that line, guys. Those two green lines that meet from the object ball, because the way they're positioned suggests that the line that you'll take. So that for me is more at the brown, or more between the brown. At less pace, it doesn't take as wider angle, see. So perhaps I did get it wrong the first time, but that's a better shot the second time. It blocks that single red. What it does there is it allows, this is the problem, it allows somebody will now play a glance shot off this, which is fine, we'll do that. And we'll play the glance shot off that. What it does is it widens the angle, so it sends the white up into no man's land and up towards the corner pocket, which is great, but a good player would take that on and probably make 50 or 60. Yeah. So guys, that's it for this episode. If you want to drop a like and a comment, you know, let me know your thoughts. You know, what do you think about when you're playing your safety shots? Are you an attacking safety player or not? Don't be defensive. Go for these safety shots. Go for the attacking safety shots. They do help. It gets you in a better position to attack them afterwards if they make a mistake. And just be accurate with that power. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate any likes and comments. Sub if you're not already subbed. The links are in the description for the previous tutorial I did on Pro Plus. Go and take a look, and let me know your thoughts. Cheers, guys. See you.